Moving on to the Pirelli Sports and GT category, a Cape Town-based sports and GT class. Majority of the drivers coming out of a big field at the WPMC. But great to see Franco Scribante coming down to be part and parcel of the weekend, not only bringing his hill climb car, but also the B29 Chevron to come and do battle against some of Cape Town's finest sports and GT category contenders. One of them will be Craig Jarvis, and you can see he's got pole position as they do the rolling start. Down towards turn one, he's in the G57 Ginetta. Alongside Scribante, we're on board with Marcel Angel in the Autohaus Angel Ferrari 458 as they head down on the braking markers. Watch out around the outside for the Joga Joga Cafe Porsche of Johan Engelbrecht. He goes side by side into KFM, and you can see just squeezing him out there was the Harp Motorsport entry of Steve Humble. He's dropped back ever so slightly though. The Ginetta going at it side by side now with Franco Scribante, and Jarvis hangs on into turn two. Scribante tucks in right underneath that big wing. And remember, that is the car that set the outright lap record here of 106.9 with Stewie White behind the wheel. Craig Jarvis now getting into the 110s right from the word go. And it looks like Marcel Angel will probably try and fend off Steve Humble just in the background for third place. Further back from that, little bit of an issue there for Johan Engelbrecht. He's fighting hard with Colin Plitt. Sandra Bakari coming through there as well, and Gavin Gorman back on board with Angel as they head down the back straight now. This is a car that he races not only in sports and GTs, but also in the extreme supercars, as well as in the endurance championship. Hard braking there, and you can see, well, Scribante's still on a high from the previous weekend's hill climb, and he's all over the back there of that very capable Ginetta G57. This is a good battle, actually. Slightly older machinery, but of course purpose-built here for Scribante, and he goes on the brakes into turn one and takes the lead. Oh, Jarvis had to roll out of that one. Craig Jarvis looking to do a little bit of development on this car, getting it ready for the next round of the Endurance Championship, but having a great run here in this little sprint race as well. He goes on the high line. Cape Town line coming out of Jarvis, and you can see Scribante maybe not knowing that outside line is actually a little bit smoother on the cars. And there you can see Jarvi Jabir with a bit of threat coming from Humble now. Humble looking for a way past. He goes around the high side. Jabir holds onto the inside line. Behind them is Engelbrecht in that Joga Joga Cafe Porsche. And Scribante started to pull a bit of a margin now. He's opened up about 2 car lengths though. And that G57 Ginetta, well, it's very close. You can see Craig Jarvis can play around in that Maui Holmes machine, but it's not going to be easy to get through on Scribante. Not easy to get through on Jabir either. Jabir's also just come from the hill climb and is probably still fired up from that event as well. Now as they get onto the back straight, the Porsche losing a little bit of ground now. And remember, that's still in development. It's a brand new purpose-built race car coming out of GD Club Sport, and Divan Loosemore, the man who looks after this car, also looks after Engelbrecht. So Angel and Engelbrecht now having some fun and games on their home track. And you can see Angel just doesn't quite have the pace of the top two as he climbs on the brakes now to go into KFM corner. Nice shot there of the onboard from Marcel Angel's point of view. Now going around the outside and trying to close down, but hasn't quite got the same pace. There you go, move up. And Engelbrecht eventually gets through on Humble. Humble runs a little bit sideways and goes into the dirty stuff. And just got him all out of shape there, but Humble eventually gets back on track. A face full of rooster as he came in. Problems further back there as one of the Audis pulls in. That's 108 Paul Beachyhead. Paul Beachyhead pulling in there in the Audi. And look at this now in traffic. I wonder whether or not Franco Scribante is going to be able to deal with the traffic as well as what Craig Jarvis can do. Blue flags waving. And looks like the Shelby just moves out of the way there, giving him a little bit of room to play, but good defensive driving coming out of Scribante as he gets down into Cape Town corner. Onto the banking, Jarvis right on his tail. It's Scuderia Scribante versus the Maui Holmes machine there, and it's Chevron versus Ginetta as they come across the line. And, well, closing stages of this race is going to be exceptionally good. Look at how tight it is between these top two. Any one of them can win. As I said, slightly elderly machinery taking on brand new machinery there. LMP2 versus the Chevron. And it's so close. Jarvis goes onto that high line once again, using the Cape Town line into turn 2 G Energy corner. Scribante using the inside line, fending off the attack, coming out, and they're on the final lap. They're coming up on, looks like Cyril Ginsberg there in the Porsche, and possibility he might get lapped by these two cars. They are absolutely hauling around here. Craig Jarvis and Scribante into the 109s. Absolutely amazing lap times coming out of these two cars, and great action between the two of them as well. It is Ginsberg that they're coming up on there. You can see the yellow and white Porsche. It looks like Ray Farnham might just be able to hang in there. Maybe Ginsberg can as well, but it might be a big threat here coming down on the breakers. Inside line from Scribante. Has he got up the inside of the Porsche? The Porsche will probably move out of the way. He realizes the Foster cars are coming. Scribante puts the hammer down. Jarvis goes around the outside with him, and they're going to head to the line, and it's going to be Scribante to hang on. Franco Scribante takes the first win in the Pirelli Sports and GT category, ahead of Craig Jarvis in the Ginetta. Great dice between the two of them, and eventually with Scribante on top ahead of Jarvis. Angel came through for third place with Engelbrecht in 4th place, beating out Darby Joubert, his good friend. Steve Humble in 6th, Colin Plitt in 7th, and Sandro Bakari comes through to make up the top 8. Let's catch up with Franco Scribanti after that first epic dice.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, very close. That's what we like to race for and why we like racing in Cape Town. There's good cars here. And that race could have gone either way, and fortunately went our way.
Welcome back to the Extreme Festival of Motorsport down at Killarney International Raceway in Cape Town, and the Mother City has seen some fantastic action this weekend. More of the same, and our final bit of action coming out of the Pirelli Sports and GTs now. With a couple of cars that had a few issues, they're going to sort them out and get them ready to go now. In a big field of almost 20 cars going to play and have some fun on the black stuff here at Killarney International Raceway. It's slightly darker conditions compared to what we had earlier on in the day. The day has run late with a couple of issues in some of the other categories, but we're now ready to go. And we're on board with Marcel Angel as we start the rolling start with Scribanti alongside Craig Jarvis just ahead of him. The hammers drop and you can see those two very, very quick cars opening up at least 4 car lengths on Angel and Joubert as they go down into turn 1 KFM corner. Further back there, Gavin Gorman coming through there in the sports car, looking for a chance to go there with Cyril Ginsberg. But it's all about Jarvis. Can he outgun Franco Scribanti into turn 2? No, Scribanti's good enough. He hangs on and gets through into turn 2 in the lead. Further back, they all start to sort things out there. The 21 car coming into play there, Martin Pugh. That's one of the old Shelby Can-Ams. And right behind him, you can see Louis de Jager in there as well in his Lotus 7. Behind that, oof, it's getting real. It's getting very real here. And super action, as you can see Steve Humble and Colin Plitt going at it. On the front end of the show, though, it's 2 cars getting away. In 3rd and 4th place, they're starting to fight it out. And then you can see not such a good start there from Engelbrecht. He's just ahead of Brink. And then it's Martin Pugh tucked in behind there, looking for a way through Gavin Gorman. Nice little start here from Franco Scribanti. Look at the gap he's opened up already. Using it's a tinted visor as well. I'm not quite sure how good his visibility is going to be due to the fact that our cameras are bringing so much more light than what's actually out on track. That's why you can see the headlights on all these cars. Big flame out of the back of the Jogo Jogo Cafe Porsche. On board now with Angel as he comes up onto the back end of Darby Joubert. This is awesome stuff. Up close and personal here between the Lotus. It's powered by a Honda, and of course, yeah, the Ferrari closes in under braking. Oh, it's very close. That is top-class racing action between 2 very good friends off the track, but arch rivals on it. A 3 car there, Sandro Bakari starting to come through there. That is a super Ligier, and that little Ligier is very quick around this track. Further back there, fights as always. You can see Clinton Thorne, also in a Lotus 7, having his own little bit of a fight there, as you can see, with the 5 car of Louis de Jager. 2 by 2, now 3 by 3 make it, because 75 is up in the mix. Colin Plitt looking to close in on Humble and Engelbrecht. The 3 of them are very evenly matched. These 2 just as even, and of course the top 2 getting away just at the top of the shot there. So you've got Angel and Joubert going at it for 3rd place. Up front, it's Franco Scribanti and Craig Jarvis for the lead. And then you've got 3 cars involved with a 3-way battle for potentially what is going to be 5th place on track. Hard braking coming out of Angel. Angel dives on the inside. Oh, he's got through. Looks like there's a problem there on Joubert's car. Joubert's pulled to the sideline. Darby Joubert's out of this one. That is a massive moment there and a big loss to the field as Joubert pulls out. Further back, that is Martin Pugh, Gavin Gorman, and Brink. Oh, and a little touch. Oh, and another one. That's 2. Oh, Brink looks like he's got a problem. Andre Brink's Porsche slowing there, and I think that's why Martin Pugh just got up the inside and gave him a little tag. He got caught out by the slower car. Speaking of slower cars, this one's speeding up, so it's not as slow as what it was earlier on, and definitely massive improvements coming out of Engelbrecht's machine as he tries to close down on Marcel Angel. Front end, it's all about Scribanti. You can see he's lifted that visor ever so slightly, trying to get a little bit of extra light inside so you can see what's happening. And Jarvis is not too worried about that. Jarvis is closing down rapidly. And I can see Craig Jarvis means business now. He doesn't want to give Scribanti 2 wins, particularly at his home track. But it doesn't look like he's got an answer there to Scribanti's pace. Angel all on his own sim there in 3rd place. No worries at all there for the Auto House Angel racing machine here. The Ferrari 458 as it heads down the back straight away. No worries at all for him here, under braking too. But look at how conditions have darkened. Onboard footage definitely showing that's a lot darker than our outside cameras are. And even our outside cameras are now starting to battle in the dying light. Angel with a couple of laps to go now, looking for a 3rd place. They're in amongst the back markers. This could help Jarvis out. They've got through on 2 of them. That was de Jager and Farnham. Arnie Church has been passed, so is Cyril Ginsberg. Now will they be looking to close in? Oh, there you go. Jarvis going on the high side, trying to cut back and get the early apex of this corner. Didn't quite work out for him because Franco Scribanti saw him coming. Scrabranti and Jarvis have put on a phenomenal show all day long in both the heats so far, and it's more of the same now heading into the closing stages. Good drive out of turn 3. He's right on the tail now, underneath that wing. And you can see Jarvis has turned the wick up. Jarvis wants through. The Maui Holmes Janetta looking for a way through there on Scuderia Scrabranti. And look at that, they go side by side. This is the final lap, so he's got to make it stick there. This is Marcel Angel coming through turn number 4 as they get down onto the back straight. Oh, it's late braking from Scrabranti and a lockup as well. Sure, that was so close. Jarvis had him under massive braking. He managed to hang on to it, and he's going to take the second victory. What a phenomenal dice. And that's the kind of sports and GT action we'd like to see here in Cape Town. Jarvis will be stoked with that, so will Scrabranti. The two of them putting on a great final race of the day. Coming to the line in third place, Marcel Angel, untroubled really there in his Ferrari. But super to see him up and running as high as he did. He finished up just ahead of Johan Engelbrecht in the overall standings, with Steve Humble in the Harp Motorsport machine in 5th place. It's Colin Plitt who comes through for 6, Sandra Bukhari once again in 7, and Gavin Gorman this time getting up into the top 8 for the Pirelli Sports and GTs. Let's catch up with Marcel Angel after a great day.
Yeah, it's very competitive. I mean, there's very different cars in the series. As you could see by that last race, we have a kind of a single-seater versus a GT car. So it makes it pretty interesting. Unfortunately, those cars are very, very quick in a straight line.
Franco Scrabranti, this is a very strong series, isn't it?
It is. That's why we came down here, because we need a change of scene, and to race on a very fast circuit like this is always a pleasure. And to race with that caliber of drivers at that pace and still be safe, it's an absolute pleasure.
The next round of the Extreme Festival of National Motorsport happens at Aldo Scrabranti on the 15th of June. We're going to be there to bring you all the action. Make sure you don't miss it, and put that date in your diaries. All this Extreme Festival of Motorsport action is proudly brought to you by Hankook Tires, Risk Sure, and Pirelli Tires.